We received a call at our 911 communication center from Tristyn Bailey's family reporting Tristyn missing.
And what's inside suggesting violence against women?
We actually have arrested a suspect by the name of Aiden Fucci.
Join us on a chilling investigation of the untimely demise of Tristyn Bailey, an innocent young life snuffed out by a ruthless murderer. We will dive deep into why such a heinous act was even committed. Nobody expected such events to unfold on Mother's Day 2021. Our story begins in the small suburban town of St. Johns County, Florida, known for its beautiful beaches, such as the Anastasia State Park Beach and lavish top-class golf courses. Yet beyond all the glimmering facade, there's a dark secret, a murder that sent shockwaves throughout this tight-knit community. This county also has a high school known as the Patriot Oaks Academy. The chaos began when the St. John Sheriff Office Communication Center received a call of a missing person at around 10 a.m. on the 9th of May 2021. It was verified from the call that the person missing was a 13-year-old cheerleader by the name of Tristyn Bailey, who was last seen around midnight the night before. The sheriff at the time, Robert A. Hardwick, issued a missing person alert on all the social media platforms of the community. Tristyn Bailey was reported last seen at 1:15 a.m. around the Durbin Amenity Center the day before. After the announcement, much of Mother's Day in this town was plagued by the horrible news they had received. Search parties, including the police deputies and local community members, started going door to door asking about Tristyn. Tristyn Bailey was a high schooler who went to the Patriot Oaks Academy. She was a bright student and a friend to many. She was also a part of the Academy's cheerleading squads, but her wishes to bring cheer would abruptly end. The sheriff announced a detailed report about the incident on the county sheriff's Twitter page. Tristyn Bailey was one of 5 children of Stacy and Forrest Bailey. Tristyn's parents received gut-wrenching news at 6 p.m. Mother's Day. Their daughter had been killed, and her body was discovered in the county's woodlands. Thus, a mother lost her dearest child on that day. What a cruel gift the murderer had given the family on such a love-filled day. Authorities found CCTV footage from different houses in the Durbin Crossing neighborhood. Here we are introduced to the prime suspect of the incident, a boy, namely Aiden Fucci, who can be seen walking beside Tristyn Bailey. They lived in the same suburban neighborhood and attended the same school. A couple of hours fly by and the CCTV footage shows Aiden Fucci running with his shoes in his hands, towards the opposite direction from which the two had been walking the last time seen on camera, which led the prosecutors to suspect that Aiden Fucci had indeed been the culprit behind a homicide. Aiden Fucci was detained the next day, on the 10th of May 2021.
Videos from the Durbin Crossing neighborhood, where Aiden Fucci and Tristyn Bailey lived, showed what prosecutors believe are the final moments before Tristyn was stabbed and the moments shortly after her death. One surveillance camera captured who are believed to be the two walking toward a wooded area in the early morning hours of Mother's Day. About 2 hours later, detectives say Fucci was seen on the same camera running in the opposite direction.
We find out that Aiden Fucci did not take the authorities seriously when they brought him in for questioning. While in the patrol car, he posted a video through his social media, saying that he was having fun, and a snap on Snapchat which read, "Hey guys, anybody seen Tristyn lately?" Like a psychopath flaunting his kill and having zero remorse for what he had just done. He was doing this and calling Tristyn by name in his video, while the police and volunteers were desperately trying to find the missing girl. Such vile monsters still roam the world in today's day and age, which is definitely a hard pill to swallow for many. A few hours pass and we see an official video of Aiden's interview with his parents. His mom told him to take things seriously and repeatedly warned him that his antics were blowing up on social media. She was clearly in shock and fear, while his father was also at a loss for words. Aiden Fucci was then charged with first-degree murder of Tristyn Bailey. It was clear from the autopsy report that Tristyn was stabbed to death. 114 stab wounds were uncovered on her body. Yes, you heard that right. 114 stab wounds. Out of these wounds, it's reported that 49 of them were defensive wounds, meaning in the last moments of Tristyn's life, she tried her best to defend herself against the bloodthirsty monster. Such a painful scene is difficult to even comprehend. In February 2023, just before the jury selection, Aiden Fucci changed his plea and pleaded guilty to the murder of Tristyn Bailey. His legal team had hoped that it would facilitate him to receive a lighter sentence. He was now facing a minimum of 40 years in prison or a life sentence. It was now all up to the judge to strike the hammer of justice and banish such scum of the earth from the loving community he had torn apart. Since Aiden Fucci was also a minor, 14 years old at the time, the death penalty couldn't be applied to him through the law as much as anyone would have wanted it. It was later discovered via an inspection of Aiden's house that his clothes tested positive for Tristyn Bailey's blood. The murder weapon was also found in his residence. We would also see the drawings Aiden was used to making, depicting murder and borderline demonic entities. His classmates would later testify that Aiden had a habit of playing with his knife, and his girlfriend would go on to say that he used to tell her, "Someday I'm going to murder someone." But nobody thought anything of what the vile 14-year-old was saying at the time. He had named his knives Picker and Poker. Two of Aiden Fucci's acquaintances admitted that he would keep these knives on him at all times. Aiden Fucci's mother, Crystal Smith, would later be taken into custody as the CCTV footage revealed her washing Aiden's bloodstained jeans. The prosecutors thought these were legal grounds to detain her because she had tampered with the evidence. Traces of blood were found in the laundry machine and a dryer of Aiden's house by the forensic team, which later matched positive to Tristyn's blood. Crystal was later sentenced to 30 days in jail while also landing herself 5 years of probation for charges against her. During the trial, the Department of Juvenile Justice employee testified on the mental state of Aiden Fucci during his time in prison before his final sentence had been put out. He testified that he behaved normally with him and exhibited no aggressive behavior during their meetings. In his court appearances, we can see Aiden acting a bit strange while he's seen talking to himself and murmuring, saying words like, "I know your demons killed my soul." Was it all a play, or would you actually think that he was insane to begin with? I'll leave that for you to decide. While on the other occasions, Aiden Fucci was reported having fights with inmates and officers alike. Inmates told police that Fucci would threaten them, saying that when he got out, he would kill their people and take pictures of them. Who can even begin to have even a piece of sympathy for such a person? Afterward, the statements of the victim's family were recorded in court in the presence of Aiden Fucci, which brought tears to anyone who witnessed it. First came Tristyn's older sister, Alexis Bailey. She had brought a jar and during her speech filled it with 114 pieces of stones, symbolizing all the stab wounds Aiden had delivered to her defenseless sister that grim night. Alexis went on to ask a series of utterly heartbreaking questions while shaking in grief and stumbling through her words. She asked, referencing her sister when she was being attacked, "Did she scream out for help, or was she paralyzed with agony? Did she cry for my mother? Did she beg you to stop? Did you hear her lungs gurgling with blood, or did you see it on her face when she realized she couldn't breathe because of her collapsed lungs? What were her last words? Did you stay to watch her die?" These questions tore through the courtroom, leaving many shocked to their core. Such was the reality and nature of this. Never before this case was there ever such a horrendous stabbing of a teenager recorded. After that, the whole Bailey family delivered their statement, while Tristyn's brother was guilty of not staying up late that night, so he could have stopped Tristyn from leaving, and her mother could only mourn the death of her daughter, cursing Aiden for robbing her of her future and the little girl she birthed and raised. Aiden took away the light from the eyes of the family that night. Aiden Fucci's grandmother also gave a statement during the hearing. She was the only one who felt concerned and could also be seen sharing her grief with the Bailey family, while all the while Aiden did not even take the matter seriously. His grandma stated that she didn't know what happened to Aiden and that he never showed signs or traits that he would do something like this, all the while crying and apologizing to the Bailey family. Needless to say, the actions of Aiden not only brought grief and pain to the Bailey family and the community, but also to his own family. Aiden and his mother were now facing jail time, while the other siblings and his father would be shunned in the community for being related to such a gruesome killer. Judge R. Lee Smith was overseeing this case, and on multiple occasions, due to the violent nature of this case, was seen with tears in his eyes and had to pause to gather his emotions numerous times. On Friday the 24th of March 2023, Judge Smith sentenced Aiden Fucci to life in prison. The judge ruled that the crime had no motive. It was evident that Aiden killed killed Tristyn just for the thrill of the kill. As Alexis Bailey had already remarked, to the relief of many, Aiden would never walk free again on the same earth that he had scorched with the blood of an innocent. Finally putting to rest the soul of the innocent Tristyn Bailey, on that day justice prevailed. Before handing out the sentence, he had urged the family to stay strong, saying, "The sentence can't heal you." The judge consoled the Bailey family with encouraging words. "Even though your daughter's body wasn't there, her spirit rests with all of you, and she is forever immortalized in your hearts." In the aftermath of the case, hundreds got together and paid homage to the fallen soul that was once between them. Another flower had wilted, another life swept away by the waves of madness. Hundreds in the community gathered to place flowers and light candles on Tristyn's memorial, bidding her farewell. Where is Aiden now, you might wonder? Well, it's safe to say he's behind bars and not posing any danger to society for the rest of his life. He is currently being held at Sewanee Correctional Institution in Live Oak. If you found this documentary interesting and you're looking for more, be sure to like the video and subscribe if you would like more. And tell us in the comments section what other cases you would like to see a documentary about. Thanks for watching, and stay safe, everyone.